figure 3.15 through 3.17, validating data with set functions. In this example, we're going to modify our set course name member function to validate the course name that it receives as an argument. Now, just like the previous example, we've split up our gradebook class into its header file and source code file. The source code file, of course, is where the member function implementations are located. And one of the things I want to point out here is we're going to enhance the functionality of the set course name member function, but yet if you look at the header file, it's identical to the version in the previous example. And this helps us reinforce the point about separating interface from implementation. When you define a class, you may later improve the implementation of that class, but yet keep the interface the same, and then provide that new upgraded version of your class to your clients. They still get the same capabilities, but they now have the improved version of the class. And because the interface remains the same, the client doesn't necessarily have to update their code. They may have to recompile and relink their code to the new object code that you provide, but they don't have to modify their source code to be able to use your upgraded class definition. So we have our gradebook header file, which has not changed. The changes in this example appear in the set course name member function. And you can see here what we're doing. We're basically going to ensure that the course name that we receive has at most 25 characters. Now, for the purpose of this example, what we're doing is we're checking to see if the string called name, the string's length is a member function of class string. If the string's length is less than or equal to 25, then we'll simply take the name and assign it to course name. On the other hand, if the length of the name string is greater than 25, we are going to assign to the course name the result of this member function call on the string object, name.substr. Substr is the substring member function, and we're giving it two arguments, 0, which is the starting position in the string, and 25, which is what we call the one past the end position in the string. The characters inside of a string are indexed starting from position 0, so if we want the first 25 characters of a string, we want to get the indices numbered 0 through 24. So 0 is the start of the string, 25 is one past the end of what we want to copy, and that's going to give us everything from in the first 25 positions of that original name string. At line 28, we're then going to output that the name that we specified exceeds the maximum length of 25, so we're limiting the course name to 25 characters. The rest of these methods have not changed at all, so let's go ahead and take a look at our main program now and see what we're doing and actually execute it to see the results. So here in line 14 and 15, you can see once again that we're using the gradebook class that was included at line 7 to create two gradebook objects, gradebook 1 and gradebook 2, and just as before, we are initializing these objects with pre-existing strings being passed to the constructor. Now, I'm just going to count with you the number of characters in this first string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those are the first 25 characters of that first string. So clearly it's longer than 25 characters. So what I expect when I run this program is that this particular string will get truncated. And you can see by the part that's highlighted on line 14 that the string on line 15 is exactly 25 characters long. So we expect that one to have its exact content that's specified on line 15. So let's go ahead and run this program. And after it finishes building, so here we go, we can see that the name CS101 Introduction to Programming in C++ exceeds the maximum length of 25, so we're limiting the course name to the first 25 characters. And here we can see that Gradebook 1's initial course name is CS101 Intro to Pro, and it cut off after the 25th character. On the other hand, the CS102 course, C++ Data Structures, was exactly the right length, so that one did not get modified. The next thing we did in main is we changed the course name for Gradebook 1 to CS101 C++ Programming That allows the instructor basically to change the course name based on the fact that they may not like the truncated version, and then we show you the course names once again, and you can see that we now have our updated CS 101 course name. And by the way, just reiterating, both of these objects, Gradebook 1 and Gradebook 2, have their own course name data members. So when we say get course name on Gradebook 1, we get the course name for that specific object. And when we say get course name on Gradebook 2, we get the course name for that specific object. Now that brings us to the end of Lesson 2. In the next several lessons, we'll take a look at other versions of this gradebook case study where we'll introduce other C++ programming concepts until we get to the arrays lesson, at which point we'll take a look at two more versions of the gradebook, one that uses one-dimensional arrays to store grades and one that uses a two-dimensional array to store a set of students' grades across multiple different exams.